Hello, welcome back. This is round four of BCDL5. I'm David Lantz, and I'm here with the father of the BCDL, Rob Wilson.
Hey,
So, what do
thanks,
we got
Evan.
here?
So we have Harlan, SCG grinder, turned new Magic Fabio. If you haven't seen Harlan, he has fabulous hair right now
It's important.
on Blue Red Delver and BCDL regular and top four from the last one, Randy Lintz on lands.
Which important to note, his deck is beautiful and in Japanese. So, hope no one was intending to read some cards unless you know Japanese.
Are you talking about Harlan or Randy?
Randy.
Harlan also plays with Japanese cards.
Oh, okay. Well, we're not reading any cards this round, but hey, they'll look cool. So we got lands from Randy's side versus Harlan, who's on Blue Red Delver.
And
So,
we're gonna roll here.
oh snap!
Oh,
We got
Harlan will be
Harlan
on
on
the
the
play.
play.
This isn't rock paper scissors cards, but
You should have left him at the table.
I know. I'll get an extra set for them.
You need the extra set, and we also need the big dice.
I actually
Next
did pick up big dice, so
you gotta get
we're making improvements every day. And Harlan leads off on Darcy, Dragon Rage Jungler, and Randy with the Taiga and an exploration, and he'll play another
And
one
no response.
and a port.
So I'm curious. Do you think Ragavan is good from Blue Red Delver's side against lands?
So probably not against Randy's list because he's still playing 3 Punishing Fire.
Mm-hmm.
So unless you're playing it straight out the gate, its value is only going to diminish over time.
Yeah, I was also considering like if you hit with Ragavan, how good are the cards you hit?
I snagged a Sylvan Library against Randy,
That's pretty good.
but that really seems about as good as it's ever going to get.
I mean, you can incidentally take tutor targets, but most of the time I just think the cards aren't going to be particularly good. And I think that's like reflected in Harlan's play of choosing to play Darcy instead of Ragavan. More threatening and has more velocity.
So I think Harlan's plan is just get these out of Punishing Fire range as quickly as possible. I expect Harlan to force this. There we go.
And we'll see a double surveil here. I mean, Harlan, yep, got the double surveil.
And do we get there? Oh, so Harlan wants that card.
So we're at land instant artifact right now.
So we can
have the
dash
blast
in.
zone on one.
Ooh, that's tough.
I think we're firing off this brainstorm.
Yeah, I think so. I think we're looking for that wasteland, and we've got Delirium now.
I think that's a good start. Now we need to hit the wasteland for us to stay in this
And
game. We
Harlan
hit the
finds
wasteland.
Double wasteland.
This is looking like a good clean game from Delver to win this.
And this is kind of, the dream if you're Harlan against lands. Like this is what you want. This is where you really want to be. Randy will get back the Punishing Fire. Okay, we double Punishing Fire.
We have double Punishing Fire, but we can also crop rotate for the bog. But we're gonna play the Valakut Exploration. Do you remember all the text on this card? Because I know I have to double check every time I.
No, I'll have to look this one up as well. We can't even read because it's in Japanese. And
I know it has land.
Harlan also looking it up.
Yeah, it's important.
So
I know it's a landfall. You exile top card, and you can play that turn, and then all the ones you don't play go to your graveyard, and you deal X damage. But I don't remember what exactly. Oh, double maze.
So the text is landfall. Whenever a land enters the battlefield under your control, exile the top card of your library. You may play that card for as long as it remains exiled. And then at the beginning of your end step, if there are cards exiled with Valakut Exploration, put them into their owner's graveyard. Then Valakut Exploration deals that much damage to each opponent. So Yeah, the two Mays of Ith, pretty great rip here, and we'll swing in Harlan will Maze or Randy will Maze one of these Darcys and presumably take 5.
Yeah, I assume we're amazing the Darcy.
Yeah.
And yeah, we hit port. This is kind of what I was expecting.
Yeah, so Harlan will pass the turn. I think at this point we just consider punishing firing these Darcys because Randy's at 8, and another attack could really put him at bolt range. And
I think what we're going to do here is we're gonna do a crop rotate for the bog, and then punishing fire one.
Yeah. Oh, he's got the crop rotation in hand. Okay.
Yeah, he's had the crop rot for a bit, and I think that's what we're gonna be doing with it.
So he'll. Yeah, and he's going with the line you suggested. Looks like he floated 1 for the punishing fire.
Now the important thing is, does TSR come in Japanese? Because I do not know that answer.
Ooh, I don't either. I would presume it does.
I think it does.
I think it. It's a recent enough printing. It's going to come in Japanese. So Harlan's just gonna play Ragavan and pass the turn. Ooh, Wasteland and a Dark Depths.
That's pretty good.
Depths. Yeah.
So we're just rolling cards off the top. That's a nice hit.
Yeah. So we've pretty much got the board under control. If we're Randy, do we just look to Wasteland Harlan out here? Yeah,
okay.
That's
it
the
seems like
inevitability here.
That was an all paths lead to Rome sort of situation.
Yeah.
Not really. Harlan didn't need to figure out how he was going to lose because all of those paths led to losing. So if we look at Randy's list, I think we're bringing in Endurance because the card's just very good against Delver.
Mm-hmm.
My impression is typically Lands isn't bringing in Choke against Delver. Just always been my impression. And then I'm not sure how the Pyroblast work. It kind of like the rev effects kind of depends how many cards we want to be bringing in and out.
So the chokes I don't think are really worth bringing in.
Okay, so we agree on that then.
Yeah, the Rebs, I would definitely bring those in because I would presume Harlan's quickest path to victory is Murktide region.
Yeah, that's my impression as well. So I was going to lean that way. I did have limited experience, so my metrics are a little off at times. So I try to think about that sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think the chokes are unreasonable. I just don't think the game goes that long.
Mm-hmm.
And
so I would be cutting the Glacial Chasm. I think you're also cutting Tabernacle against Delver. I don't know that answer though. And then we look and see how many Valakut explorations we can really play. 3-drops against Delver tend to be rough. And then I don't know how many Mox Diamonds we shape against Delver, or if we do shape Mox Diamonds against Delver from Lance perspective.
Yeah, so we could see Randy sideboarding there. It's the chokes and the Rebs.
Okay.
Yeah, Harlan brings in 3 Court of Grace. Or Court of Cunning, I'm sorry.
Gotcha. So we didn't bring in Endurance against Delver. Interesting.
Yeah, I think those are very good, reasonable things to bring in. It's how many cards do you want to take out?
Yeah, you definitely can't bring them all in. I'm just shocked that he chose to bring in the chokes over the Endurances, because Endurance to me prevents the Murktide problem, which is what we were talking about of paths to victory. But we're also at 2 Maze of it. So these are my thoughts.
Yeah, I think Randy's problem is he doesn't want to cut too much without really diluting his game plan.
Yep. I definitely don't want to bring in 8 cards, but I was just curious which green cards he preferred. it might be a color problem. That green is too hard to get against Delver at times because man, is Land's mana base not great. The
Land
color,
surprisingly with a terrible mana base for only 2 colors.
yeah, for being the deck with a bajillion lands, they are really bad at hitting their colors. So we'll
So
lead off with what are we thinking? More Darcy, or we got Ragavan this time?
I think he's going to go for Ragavan on the play. Yeah.
Okay, I agree. Ragavan on the play, pretty hard to dislike.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if we boarded up the Sylvan libraries from Randy's perspective.
So Randy leads on a forest. No exploration. That's a tough place to be. And Randy has received a response? He's holding a card like he had a response. Okay, he doesn't. That's a fantastic exile. That's probably about the best that you can hope for.
That's reasonable. I think hitting maze would be some really good stuff. Just not like one less maze is huge.
And here we see Darcy.
Yep. We got some modern classic going on here.
Yeah, Harlan remembering his triggers.
I would expect nothing less. We got Dark Depths on top, assuming I saw that correctly.
Yeah, I believe that was the Dark Depths.
But we even have the Submerge, so...
Yeah, Harlan draws for his bottle sugar. Randy draws for his turn. Plays a Ghost Quarter.
Ooh, this is not stoked from Randy's perspective. This is a very slow hand to be keeping on the draw against Delver.
Yeah,
and current Delver is very fast.
Slow gets you killed.
And I definitely think Harlan took a very fast deck building approach. He's on 4 Murktide. He's on the Steam Vents. He came to cast some blue and red cards and kill his opponent.
Yeah, as is Harlan's typical MO. So you see the sideboard. Ooh, a fantastic ponder if you're Harlan. Yeah, I assume the token in the upper left is representing a treasure.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, Mox Diamond.
So you got the Mox Diamond.
I don't think Harlan has a land to cast it on that. Yeah, those represent treasures. Okay. And the Court of Grace here. Randy has outs. He's got the Rebs in, so he's not dead.
Oh, but Harlan being a Horde member. Yeah. I'm not sure how I feel about that.
Okay, Crop Rotation is Randy's top card. Harlan will draw
we
from
got
Monarch.
Force and draw from Bobble, so we have Force blue card up. I think this game is over.
Yeah, I'm talking with Harlan, it seemed like Court of Cutting was really his plan for these decks, as just his kind of catch-all answer, and it seems to be working here.
And he's chosen not to mill, right? That's a choice you can do.
Right, it is.
To mill lands. I'm just not familiar with the options of.
Okay, so he did bring in the Endurance, and I assume this will get dazed immediately.
Yeah, for sure.
So we'll float the mana, return it, and then we'll scry with the Dragon's Rage Channeler. Pass the turn, and the exile, and the Ragavan doing his thing. Oof, a second.
That is.
You got 2 Punishing Fires down. I mean, Harlan's got this pretty well in hand.
Yeah, he's going for the color source. This is as we were talking about, the mana base, the color distribution from lands is shockingly bad. And we got Murktide. Yeah, it is. This looks like a Delver on the play sort of game.
Yeah. So Harlan looking at his pile to make sure he can get Delirium.
Yeah, prioritizing Delirium over counters.
Yeah, and the Monarch draws Harlan a fetch, so he'll have Delirium again next turn.
And I do not know that. So we would need Exploration into Wasteland Tabernacle to get out of this, and Harlan to forget to press the force button. So I think this game is clean over.
Randy does have the crop rotation in hand.
Yeah, but we have force blue card.
Yeah. I mean, if you're Randy, still.
Oh,
You
yeah,
still go
right,
for
right.
it. And Harlan's ready. Harlan's ready for the.
He knows.
Yeah, he's just holding the two. Okay, he's just holding the card, ready to force whatever he does. So Harlan's choosing to mill himself here. I mean, he's got force blue card. He doesn't think that there's anything else he needs.
Yep.
Yeah.
And we're just gonna force this crop route for the Maze of Ith. I don't see there being any real other options.
He's gonna think about it a little bit, like what could go wrong from this point. Okay, he's gonna let it resolve.
That is a shocking turn of events. What's the rationale here? Like you're worried about your second crop route? Or like you're just not threatened enough to feel the pressure. You'll just win next turn, and you'd rather keep it up rather than getting blown out.
I mean, if you knew Harlan wouldn't force a crop rotation, I mean, the line of going and getting that tabernacle on your own turn, the previous turn, looks a lot better.
Yeah, I'm very. I mean, what Randy was playing around is in Wasteland, and he may have boarded out the Tabernacles, which is why I didn't go for that play. Because I think if you were priced enough into going for the crop rotation, you would just crop route at main phase.
Mm-hmm.
And the game's over. So we'll go to game 3 where Randy won't have an on the play Ragavan to deal with. Which many a Magic player has tried to in the last.
Okay, so Randy probably brought in the 2 or 3 Rebs, and it looks like the Endurances.
Yeah, but you said you thought you had seen the chokes though. So
yeah, I thought it was chokes, but yeah.
Like choke wouldn't have mattered in that game, and I think Randy would be the one to recognize that far before I would. So I assume he's not bringing it in, or has a different understanding of the cards than I do. But I've just found that Endurance is very, very good against Delver.
Yeah, I mean, it answers pretty much any threat that Harlan's going to present, other than Murktide Regent.
But it also stops Murktide Regent if it's not already in play, though.
Right.
It's very nice. So I just think it's a very powerful effect. The Quarter Cunning definitely was pulling its weight, though. Cannot disagree with that one. And I did like the play pattern of getting to exile with Murktide, and then you just fueled right back up with the Court.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it kind of does it all between refueling yourself and you could mill them out.
I mean, I definitely don't want to be milling out the
lone player. Yeah,
yeah, that one seems a little questionable.
It's a route you could take if you have to.
Yeah.
Plan C.
Okay, so we got a double Wasteland from Harlan with a turn one Darcy and a Daze. That seems there's like a Murktide in there, right?
Yeah, 2 Wastelands, 2 mana sources, a Murktide, Daze, and a Darcy.
Yeah, that seems fine.
So Randy mulligans to 6.
This hand gets really punished by an early loam, I think. Or just an early... Yeah, I think an early loam is the most punishing play for Harlan to deal with out of this hand.
So Randy with a Bajuka Bog, Mox Diamond, a stage, 2 stages.
Is there an Valakut Exploration card, or that's the...
it's a Punishing Fire.
That's the bog that I'm referring to.
Okay.
So we'll see what he powers out with this.
Zoom the other stage, yeah, and
Yeah.
pass go. Then I would just immediately fire whatever he plays. Yeah.
I would not play into days.
I mean, there's no reason to do it if you have another land, like Randy does. So
This is why you wanted to get this into play.
prioritize the exploration.
Well, we'll get a punishing fire back with this. And these wastelands are not looking good from Harlan's at this point. So
No.
this looks very right in this board state.
So the bog will clear. We'll get another land. We'll fetch. Or no, we're just. No,
we're not going to end step port? Missed opportunity.
Oof.
It's rough.
Yeah.
We're not hitting great.
No. We're chipping in there with the exploration between the fetch and the blast. But you got to think Harlan would have or Randy would have much rather had that blast zone on the battlefield.
I'm still perplexed that Randy did not do the end step port, because then he could have upkeep ported whatever that Harlan fetches for. Seems just like some speed play missing some percentage points. We're just going to cast the other exploration here.
Yep. Then another land. Oh, good.
Hit. 2 damage.
Yeah. Great. So
what are the bad hits in Randy's deck right now? Like, if you're Harlan, what cards do you want Randy to be drawing? Mox Diamond.
I don't know. Yeah, it's all looking good here from this point. I mean, you got to think if Randy finds a loam, that's pretty bad shape. So Harlan casts the Court of Cunning.
Ooh, this could get interesting.
Harlan finds a force for turn.
Oh, he's just going to turbo out a bunch of these courts and just mill them out.
I think if I'm Harlan, I let that go. And yeah, he's going to let it go, and I think he's on the plan you suggested.
Okay, well, Harlan really telling his opponent that, like, Randy, you should. We're not just going to jam another one? That is interesting. I'm like very just jamming in the next turn, mill 20.
Yeah, I mean, Randy's gonna find what he needs, but I think it's just gonna be too late. Especially if you have force back. Is that a second court in his hand? Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's a second and third.
Okay, so Randy will presumably cast the Rev to hit the court.
Yeah, it feels like
it'll be met with a force, I'd imagine, pretty quickly.
A what? Why are we not hitting the okay. I'm very confused.
Yeah, I don't know why he pointed to the volcanic island. And Harlan, did you mean the only target? I mean,
like you could do this
targeting. Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Is a legal target. Okay. So Harlan will let the court go. I think he just was thinking wasteland and pointed the bottle blast.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
And we're porting. Yep. And we're just gonna shock and. No! The exploration.
The monkey
exploration that
doing work.
Randy's been wanting for 10 years.
So Harlan plays another Darcy.
Oh, are those? No, there's definitely okay.
Yeah, he was borrowing courts from Zach, so they're full art foils.
Oh, that's I was making sure I hadn't screwed up the court being in hand. I'm still perplexed he didn't go for like second court. Okay,
So
does this get met with a force? Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
yeah, that seems like a free roll. We got Darcy Trigger, and what do we got? We got Bobble, so we're definitely at the.
Yeah, and I think Harlan feels that the combo is really the only way he loses at this point. And just chip away, and that's a crop rotation.
Yep.
I mean, you could crop rot, go get another wasteland, and just choke Randy out here. I mean, that's an option. Yep, and that's what he's going to
Oh,
do.
that's what he's doing. And we just. I don't know what we're doing. If we're just.
Yeah, so you'd presumably take out the Taiga.
Yeah, for sure. That was my assumption. I'm just curious if we're going to end up actually doing that. Okay. Yeah, I think that's the path to victory. Randy hit some pretty poor things off these Pelican explorations. I'm quite shocked that this game went the way it did. Both people just putting their Haymaker 3-mana enchantments, and Harlan's was just better.
Yeah.
Harlan actually drew cards, and Randy did not. Did some measly damage. And that's what we'll call the game.
Yeah. We'll do it. That'll do it for this round, and we'll be back with the next round momentarily.
Sounds good. Talk to you later.